Alright. Sorry, I have to... Okay. I cannot waste any more time because I've wasted half the day already. Even though it's only 9 o'clock in the morning, I have a lot to discuss today. But hi, guys! It's been a long time, hasn't it? Since I've actually sat down in front of my camera and filmed. Now, first, with that being said, I really quickly want to make an apology to my subscribers that were waiting for my vlog. And the vlog is done. It is, I have all the videos for it. I did some pretty neat stuff. I did the crossing over from Pennsylvania to West Virginia. I did all that stuff, but I haven't uploaded it. Nor probably will I. I will try to get around to it. It's just every time I do say, okay, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to do this, and it's going to be up, and then they're going to love me and be happy because I did it, something comes up. Something either comes up or I have to be somewhere, and it's just all bad all the time. I know I shouldn't be smoking, but you'll soon find out why I have to do this video while I'm smoking. So guys, I got good news and bad news. The good news is, no, I'll tell you the bad news first, just so I can brighten you up with some good news. The bad news is, I have to tell you the good news first. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm really bad at this. The good news is you're going to get multiple videos today because I have so much to discuss. I need it all off my chest. I need it out of the way so I don't have to worry about it and leave you guys just hanging. Okay, now for the bad news. Some of them are going to be happy. Some of them are really going to be sad. And fair warning, I may cry. I'm going to try not to because it's really hard to understand me when I sit there and bawl my eyes out. But with these situations that are going on around me right now, it's everything. So, sorry. Anyway, where was I? See? Took a hit off a cigarette. I can't remember. I'm starting to get congested. Okay, I really forgot where I went. Okay, so, this video, as you can tell by the title, is, before I do that, see, I'm really bad at this. Like, I remember stuff, afterwards. Oh, nope, that wasn't supposed to happen. My phone hates me, so, no. Stay. So, okay, if you remember, or if you saw a couple weeks ago, it is still on my channel and my iFunny. A few weeks ago, I did a video that was titled, How to Cope with Abandonment. Well, with what's going on in my situation right now, I thought it would be a great idea to do, hence the title, How to Cope with Loss. Which I've been going through a lot. Lately. There we go. I cannot talk if my life depended on it. So, as most of you should know or do know or have seen or have heard of or whatever, recently my family has taken a turn for literally the worst. So, Sunday night, sorry, I have to, because I just know that I'm getting to the point where I have to talk about it. So I just need to go. I'm trying to relieve stress so I don't cry. If it'll work, I don't know. Okay, so Sunday night, there was a double shooting that involved my family. 11-year-old David and 16-year-old Chris, that was my brother. And they were half-brothers. And Chris was my brother. I don't know if I'm making any sense. Was shot in their own home. Knock at the door, they open the door, and the gunman just opened fire. 11-year-old David was killed on scene. Chris was rushed to the hospital and was in critical condition. He is fine. Well, he's not fine. Why would I use that word? Because I flip out on people when they use that word. Okay, Chris is alive. As of right now, Chris is alive, and he is in critical, stable condition. I don't know if most of you know what that means, because there's critical and stable. To be in both, that means that he is in stable condition, he is alive, and he is, functioning, but there's still a slight possibility we could still lose him. And Chris lost half of his hand. They had take it off, I'm not going to get too into it. But the biggest part that you guys should know, for all of you that are in all of that, Chris does not know David is dead. And let me tell you why before anyone judges on why and think we're bad people because no one told him and yet or all of that. Let me tell you why. With the condition Chris is in, that could send him into panic or make him have, it could put him in shock and we could lose him instantly. We cannot put any stress on this boy right now. So, as far as Chris is concerned, David is in a children's hospital in a coma. I do realize how awful it is to tell somebody that, but it's better than risking losing them both. If telling Chris that David's in a coma will keep him alive, that is exactly what we need to do. And I understand how bad it sounds, but if your family was in this situation, you would understand. I did not cry. I'm very proud of myself. I'm trying very hard not to. I'm tearing up, but I'm not going to cry. Yet. With that being said, obviously, I'm going to tell you guys about how we're coping with it, how the community is coping with it, and just our thoughts. Start with us. We are in complete shock. No one wants to believe this. Nobody. Nobody wants to believe that something this awful could happen. And as most of you know, a few weeks ago also, my best friend was shot and killed. Curtis Pounds. It's crazy. Rest in peace, Curtis. Rest in peace, David. Right now, none of us are coping well. None of us want to believe it. All of us are in denial. All of us are angry and at loss for words, especially because Chris and David were loved by everybody. They never got in the middle of drama. They never started anything. They never caused problems. They were not bad kids at all. So how or who could do this? Right now, there are no suspects. We have very little to go off of, or the police do. I'm not going to give you that information. Yes, I am completely aware of it, but I feel like it's really, if you know it, you know it. If you don't need to. I'm sorry to have to put it so, because everyone thinks I'm so down to earth, and I am such a loving person, but you have to realize that with this, none of us know how to deal with it. This video is about to be very long. I can feel it. I'm going on 8 minutes, and I haven't even started. Oh boy, this is going to be a long day. The community is being very, very generous to the family and the friends of Chris and David. They are buying balloons and taking it to their doorstep. They are buying candles and taking them. They're lighting them and leaving them on their doorstep. They are leaving, cards and balloons and stuffed animals to show their support and their condolences for the loss of David and the injury of Chris. I don't know if Chris will pull through. Him being my brother, I really do think he will. Chris is very strong. He's a wrestler. Even though that's not relevant. I want to thank everybody that has given their condolences to the family and me, and telling us how sorry you are. Thank you guys so much for supporting us and me, and just being the shoulder to cry on if I need it. I could not ask for a better group of subscribers than you guys, and I'm very grateful for you in every way. But here is the main part of the video at 10 minutes. The big title, How to Cope with Loss. it's a very tragic thing having to deal with the loss of a loved one, a friend, a family member, a pet, which is also a family member in my opinion. It is so hard. A friend of a friend, somebody you went to school with and you just know. It's awful. And no one should have to go through it, but sadly death does happen, and so do natural disasters, shootings, murder. I wish it didn't. I wish nobody died. Because it's one of the hardest things to deal with. It's right there with abandonment. Hold on. Oh, man. I knew I shouldn't have stopped that. Okay. Anyway, we stay. Okay, you will. I'm sorry, my boobs are out. I'm trying to wear this cover up. It's not covering up anything. Dealing with the loss of a loved one or a friend or any of that is tragic. No one should have to go through it, but sadly, it's not how it works. I'm sorry, I'm not looking at the camera because my mind is really wandering, but on the bright side, guys, this is not gonna be this is a sad video, but there are more happy videos to come. Just gotta pull through this first. So, I don't know exactly how you'd cope with it, but what you can try to do, and here are some, hopefully they're helpful tips on how you can cope. 1, you're not the only person that has had to deal with this loss. Remember that. Whenever somebody dies, you have to know that there is one other person in this world. There's millions of people that care about them. You're not the only person that knew them. So be the shoulder to cry on, just like you would want done for you. You would want that shoulder to cry on, to be able to go to and just cry and, explain and, have your things to say and talk about it too. Have that respect for the same people. I'm sorry, I cannot talk. Have the same respect for those people. Be their shoulder to cry on. Tell them that if they need anything, they can come to you. If they need someone to talk to, if they need someone just to listen, not even, someone just that they can let off all their steam to, or their sadness, or whatever. Remember that you're not the only person suffering their loss. And just like, say you lose a grandparent, your mother, your father, whatever, your mother, your father, your grandfather, if your grandmother dies, your cousins, whatever. If you don't have cousins, maybe you have aunts, uncles, friends that knew your grandma. There's all these different kinds of people in this world that are dealing with the same thing you are. So be their shoulder to cry on. Offer them help. And I promise you, they'll do the same in return. Tip number 2. Think about the happy memories, not the bad ones. I know it's hard not to dwell on those that you lose. But try thinking about all the happy times you've had with that person. Every little thing matters and counts. Remember that. Remember that one thing. Every little thing counts. Do not focus on the negativity. Yes, they're gone. Yes, it's sad. But if you I know it's hard because one time I had a fight with somebody and then 2 weeks later they were dead. And I bawled and I felt nothing but sadness. Because I felt like I could have done something to help that person. That I shouldn't have said what I had said because now it's too late. So make amends with people now. Because it's true, no one knows how much time they have left. Look at that little 11-year-old boy that is now dead. He thought he had all the time in the world to do whatever. He could go far, and he was going to. But now he doesn't get that chance. Curtis doesn't get a chance to live. You have to think about it this way. 11 and 10 years, he would have only been 21. That's still so young. His life had started, but it wasn't even halfway over. And now it is over. He had no chance to see himself do something great, and I know he could have. Just remember, make amends, make friends. Even if you hate that person, you never know. Tomorrow you could wake up and they could be gone. And it's terrible to think about. And I hate putting it that way, but that's the only way you can put it. And nothing is worse than losing somebody and having regret and all that sadness in your life because you said this to them and you never got to fix it. So fix it now in this moment. See them in school, walk right up to them today. Do something now because you don't know if you'll have tomorrow. Losing a pet is very hard, I know. I've lost multiple pets in my life, and it's like losing a family member. But remember that if you had to put a pet down, no one just puts a pet down just to put it down. If you have to put your pet down, remember it was suffering, and it is now in heaven, looking down on you, and it had no pain. Even with people. Remember the people like David. If he would have lived, he would have had to suffer the pain of the bullet. But he's in a better place, because this world is so fucked. He should have been here with his family, but now that he can't, he's in a much better place, and he's watching over them. And all of his friends, and seeing what they're doing, and being able to protect them. And watch them go far, because he couldn't. Pets suffer just like humans. Remember that if you have to put it down. You are ending the suffering. Yes, you feel like a monster because you're like, I have to kill my own pet. But if that's the only way out, if they're suffering, remember that it may be hard because you have to do it, but you're the one that put a stop to their suffering and sent them to happiness. Please, remember that. I really don't know how else to cope other than those few helpful tips, hopefully. Other than live life in this moment, guys. Because you never know if you have tomorrow. I love each and every one of you, and there are going to be so many happy videos to come, so please bear with me. I love every single one of you. Stay strong, and if you need somebody, I am here always. Thank you for the support you've given me, and now it's my turn to give the support to you. So have a great, what's today? Have a great Thursday, guys. Do well in school, and that's a video up to come, because I've been getting a lot of questions while I'm not. So, have a fantastic day. I love you, and I will see you probably in about 5 minutes.